Eat can. Yeah, here's the handle I've chosen. It's got a natural swell. I haven't done anything to the end yet, but I do struggle a bit with getting these mortise and tenons right, being that I'm carving out of a stick. I don't know if you can see how that curves back that way a little bit. So I got to take a little more off of this side to get it to fit right, I think. But it is very close. Very close. As soon as I hit that curve, it gets tight. I don't know how well it'll show up, but this one here, I wanted to leave all of that showing. I thought that was pretty cool. There's going to be a line going across the bottom. Then this is all going to be natural. I've got that all smoothed over so nothing's going to come out. I don't know if you can hear my mic. Oh, that's my fingers going across the bark so it's smooth. Tape this down in like this. Not only does it, I think it looks cool, but then there's not that big lip of the bark that it can, when you're striking, that it can cause a chip out, a blowout on the bark. But I've already put it through some torture tests. I did pick up one little crack in the face, but well, two little cracks actually. I got pretty aggressive with my torture test on this log. But after what I threw at it, it's going to withstand anything woodworking related that I do. That's for sure. Wanted to see how well it would hold up to. There's still a mark on there from it, but I have been wanting to see how well it would hold up to striking something harder wood. But what I ended up doing was taking a brick and whacking it with this until it broke. So now I still have brick dust stuck in the face of this, but it'll come out easy enough. I'm just going to carve that away last so that it doesn't, mess up my blade while I still have cutting to do. I really like all the lines and everything that showed up. Greg, what's happening? I am good. How are you? DJ? Well, it's looking good. Thank you. Well, we'll just, I guess, keep doing them this way until I have the proper equipment and tooling to do them the other way. I've been wanting to do some glue ups, but I'm certainly not going to do some glue ups and then hand carve them. That to me would just be silly. This stuff that's naturally seasoned, naturally dried is tough enough. Some kiln dried lumber would be just hell to carve. Little bits here and there would be fine, but so I'm carving away here is when I put this in and try to fit it everywhere that when I do that, I get you can see that, I get a quick burnish everywhere that it's rubbing currently, which is most places, so it's pretty even. So now you see how even it's hitting. I hope you guys can see me back up a little. There's a high spot here. It's not, I mean, it's even. There's a slight curve. So I'm going to need to take just a little off to this side to still keep it round. And we'll come over from here. Okay, let's see what we got here. Well, it went in much better that time, but I can tell I am probably going to bottom out on this before much of my tenon gets to the mortise. So I'm going to come down here and just start cleaning some of this up. Ewan, how's it going? I am doing well today. Hands are a bit sore from all the carving, but I would like to get this mallet finished up for the mallet wars tomorrow. I think that's going to be my last one for a bit. I think I will give my hands a break. It is getting to where I've been holding so many pieces of wood and so many knives that when I let go of this stuff, my hands just kind of want to stay curled there. It hurts to even straighten them out. Looks like a mallet carve is not what the people want to see today. I cleared them out pretty quick. I'll get this cleared out just a little bit more. That'll give us a little bit more room. And then I should switch to a thinner knife to get that working there done. Whittling a walking stick. Will you post when you finish? I can show you right now. I tried something that I ended up not liking, so I've got some pieces that I'm going to recut. But this is what I've done so far. I still have to put a tip on, so ignore that part there. I don't want to get that any smaller than that until I figure out what tip I'm going to use. So Don't look like that. But what I tried to do, and I'm going to recut it. I don't know if you can see, I had this really nice shiny finish on there. And I decided, yeah, you can see it on there. You see how I messed it up. I went over it like a darn fool. I tried to do a CA glue finish over it, thinking, well, that'll really make it shiny. And when I started trying to do the beeswax, I started rubbing this out with beeswax last night. And when the beeswax got on that CA glue between the heat and the friction and all that, it started doing some really weird stuff here. It started like crystallizing, and I don't know if maybe it was still off gassing when I put the wax over it. But the wax is now, it's like hardened up everywhere else, but now it's all smearing everything here. So I'm going to recut this knot. I'm going to recut this knot because these are the only two that I did them on. And I know if I take a nice finish cut over those, I can show you real quick. If I take a nice cut over those, they're going to clean up real well, and it'll recover nicely. Get just deep enough to take the wax off, the glue off, and that very next layer of wood. That way I'm getting anything that was, I guess, impregnated by the glue. Yeah, see, look at that. You got all gummy on there. I certainly don't want that going out. That didn't happen anywhere else on the stick other than where it went on over CA glue. Yeah, normally my wax is, the beeswax is mixed with either mineral oil or walnut oil. But this stick had gotten so much mineral oil over a couple of days, just letting it soak in. Every time I noticed that it was showing signs of drying, I gave it another coat. I was not worried about suffocating this wood. I wasn't worried about trapping moisture because this wood was so dry. It's years old. And it's been sitting, stored in a dry space. I put my moisture meter on here and it came up zeros. So I'm just finished scraping that off of there. And then we can actually take a light cut. We can see, just making that cut, the shine's coming back. So I scraped this off, it was all dull. Then we get over here where I've cut through and the shine's coming back. So I will recut both of those knots, re-oil them, let them soak in for a couple days, and then I would catch those areas up on the beeswax. I'm not going to do any more beeswax on it until that's all caught up. But this is 100% beeswax. I was attempting a friction finish. That's part of what my hands hurt. I started the rag and the beeswax and just kept stroking my wood until my name, or I read that. It says, "Cheers for saying my name correct. Russ keeps calling me Juan." Yeah, you know, we're simple Americans. I don't know. I know he's got a lot going on. He's got a lot of people coming through his chat. But I did have a stepfather from Scotland. I've had friends from Ireland. So I'm maybe a bit more familiar with that's how you guys pronounce your names. Oh, I'm gonna get sidetracked there. I need to go back to the mallet because I want to try and get that done for tomorrow. And we were working on the split, trying to get myself some more room. Oh, I'm getting that opened up a bit more. I know it's an ugly slot, but hard to cut straight with one of these. Not a care in the world, Westside dude. No, I wish I was. Well, I'd say I wish I was as carefree as that guy, but we see a carefree Wes. I'm sure Wes has plenty to be concerned about with a business and a family and all that, and a successful YouTube channel. Dude's got like 25K subscribers. But I'm done concerning myself with YouTube numbers after what I saw the changes that they're going to make come January. I figure why bother? I looked at my watch hours currently and how long I've been doing this, and I was like, well, there's no way I could have done it if I had started in January. There's no way it was going to happen. Should probably back that tip in there just a little bit more. What I'm doing is trying to just hold that gap open some with the other knife, just so I can watch my sides. It's easier to keep them round if I keep that gap split open, held open rather. Of course, it'll stay split open. Okay, so I think the sides are good. It's front to back I need to worry about. What are they doing in January? So in January, I don't know what other changes they're making, but I know in January they are changing the watch hour requirements to be eligible for ad revenue. And now instead of having 4,000 watch hours for ad revenue, they're doubling it. You got to have 8,000. And that is just wow. I mean, unless you're already a big channel that already has an established base of subscribers, I don't see a lot of people. You got to really be something special to come in and start pulling in 8,000 watch hours a year. And this certainly isn't the channel that's going to do it. But I'm not starting over. I'm not going to reinvent myself. I am who I am. And that's why I say I'm done concerning myself with it, because if I don't get my watch hours, I don't get my watch hours. And the absolute worst that happens is I'm right where I am right now. I'm just a dude on YouTube trying to do some cool stuff. And that's not what people want to see, then they'll do like they do now, and I'll skip right on past. So, I don't know. I guess as far as I'm concerned, things will not change for me, so I'm not going to stress about it. But it is kind of a bummer for people that were really close this year, that 4,000, or will be really close to that 4,000, you know. And then they find out next year they don't have to get 100 more watch hours than they did this year. They've got to get double. Yeah, so if you search YouTube watch hour changes for 2027, I believe the effects take place January 1st. We're definitely getting there. I still got a little too much on the front of this. It needs to come down, I think. I think that's where we're going to hit. And you leave the back of it alone. But carve the back out. I don't want it to start tipping the head back. I want it to stay right where it's at. I want this handle to come up nice and straight through the head and have this natural curve in it. Oh, that's gonna be close. In fact, I think that's gonna be close enough. I want to seat that and see if that's going to work for me. I might regret this, but there we go. So I will worry about the wedge in a few. I still have to cut a wedge. I'm going to take this idea is what I got from the cane. I'm going to just start cleaning this bark off the bottom, polish up these knots, round the bottom over a little bit and make it comfortable. You guys are putting the mallet head on, resist the urge to drive it down, because as you get to the bottom of your tenon and it hits, it's going to want to bounce back up. So if you saw how I did that, just striking it on the bottom, we'll naturally want to drive it up through there and get it on there snug. And that came through pretty dang straight. I'm happy with that. Yeah, craziness. Yeah, it's 8,000 watch hours is insane. You know, there's those that are going to achieve it easily, but I'm sure it's going to be those that have 250,000 subscribers or more that have no problem with it. It does, though, seem as if maybe YouTube has a problem with so many people succeeding on here. They don't want to see the little guys running away with nothing. They're locked into these big guys that can make the money, and you know, that's the almighty dollar, right? That's what it's about. It'll never come down to anything other than money, because they're a business. But I'm not going to get angry about it, because I attended YouTube University. So I've gotten a lot of free education out of YouTube. The first thing I'm going to do is just get all this rough bark off that I know is going to end up breaking off from the shock. So when the bark is dried on like this, it's going to want to stay on. Same with this. But at the end here, where moisture got to that stick over time, and allowed that bark to peel back and peel away, and it dried and it curled up a little more. That's you're never going to keep that on. Now, even if my channel can't be as big as a West does it, you know, I don't have my sights set like ultra high, right? I'm not trying to shoot for the moon. But, you know, even if my channel can't be as big as Wes's, it'd be nice to have a, you know, like a subscriber base like he's got, not in numbers, but in quality. And I've got a lot of you guys in here now, which I do appreciate. Thanks, glad I finally caught your leaf. Yeah, you know what? Anytime you guys are in here, I'm happy with that. If you can catch it once, if you can catch it every day, whatever you can make it, that's awesome. I finally wore that one. Don't know if I don't want to use it anymore because I won't be able to strop it here in a few minutes. I have to sharpen it. So I'll just switch off to this knife. Another tip, if you're going to be carving is either have your strop handy and be prepared to stop and strop quite frequently, or have a bunch of knives prepped and ready to go, so you can just grab another one to keep carving. What I'm trying to do is keep some of the same texture around here. You can see it so well there. But I want to keep some of the same texture around here as we have around here, so that it matches nice. This is all sugar maple. So even though one is a log and one is a branch, I'll be able to find the same patterns in there. I'll get you back up in here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to do the same with these eyes like I did on the cane. I'm going to expose the eyes. These little knots make them look like an eye. Because that is going to give me another opportunity to try to bring these rings in. So you guys, you just see we got a few in here from, not many, just a couple of you from over at Wes's channel. I don't know if you heard Wes today talking about, we were over there hanging out at Miss Jackie's channel, Jackie at Taz River Artisans. And, you know, she is very supportive of other channels and other creators. So if you guys do get a chance, if you can go check her out over there, Jackie at Taz River Artisans, her and Mike, they're good people. And you know, I'm not big into like the crafty side of things, but you know, she makes these bags. She made some bags the other day. It's for carrying like dog treats and stuff like that. And they were cool, man. I mean, hearing the description and then seeing what she was making, I was like, wow. This isn't what I thought. These are cool bags. Heavy duty, you know, with snaps and zippers. And she's a straight up G with the sewing machine. Watch her use a sewing machine like Andrew Hybeck uses a wood lathe. Like, she just makes it look easy. This bottom is going to take quite a few cuts to get rounded over once I have it cleaned up. Then we'll see if we do have enough edge in here to, yeah. So to round this over, I'm going to come in and I'm going to knock the corner off. And then when I knock that corner off, that's going to create 2 more corners. Basically, that's what you just want to keep doing. You just keep knocking corners off to create a radius. There is really no such thing as a perfect circle. If you ask a machine to draw a perfect circle, and I really only know this from being a machinist. If you ask a machine to draw a perfect circle, you know, try this on like MS Paint or whatever they use now. I'm dating myself there. MS Paint. I don't even know if that's a thing still, but go in and put a circle on the page, and then zoom way in on it. Just keep zooming in on it, and you'll start seeing that it is a bunch of short, tiny little line segments. Because a perfect circle doesn't really exist even on a computer. You can't do it. It's always going to be a point to point to point to point to point to point, all the way around. That's why I laugh when I see these, well, advertisements and stuff, you know, these little clips on the internet where, oh my goodness, this teacher walked to the front of the class and drew a perfect circle. Look at this art teacher, they're so good. And it's like, well, no. They drew, I mean, without a doubt, a better circle, but it's not a perfect circle. Guys, I'm going to have to give my hands a break. They're hurting. So I'm going to keep carving the end of this down until it looks like this more. So you get the idea. So the bottom of this will end up looking like that. I think that'll look pretty cool. So they'll need that finished up. I'm going to give this a good scraping, and then I'm going to burnish it. I figured out a way to burnish the bark. The heat actually tightens it up a little bit more, leaves it shiny, gets rid of the roughness, leaves the texture, so you still have grip, but it's not rough anymore. I don't know if you can see, I already did it on that there. So there's no oil or anything that's burnishing. And to achieve that, I put a long extension. Get yourself a 6-inch extension, a 12-inch extension for, like for your ratchet, and chuck that up in your drill. And just with it running, use the side of the, so, this will be chucked up in your drill. This is your extension. Use just the side of it. Let it rub. Run it full speed and just keep it moving. And you'll see it'll start smoothing out. And you've got your drill in your hand and just keep smoothing out. And as that happens, you can start putting a little bit more pressure and a little bit more pressure. And friction and pressure is all burnishing is. So now you've got a nice shiny bark on there. And I mean, with all that abuse, it didn't come off. It's not going anywhere. So that'll be my next mallet, and I think probably my last one for a while. We'll see if I even get this done in time. This has to be turned in tomorrow for Mallet Wars. But I'm definitely up against some steep competition tomorrow. I believe Pilato has his mallet built. And, that's a guy with a couple of pocket knives going up against a whole shop. There is a perfect circle. The band. You got me, Benner. You got me. Yeah, so look out, Pilato. Here I come. Oh, that was cocky. That was arrogant. But like I said, I'm one dude with a couple of knives. I'm doing what I can do. So we'll see how it works out. And that is, in there, no wedge. Ken has nice mallets. Yeah, I don't think I've seen one of Ken's mallets. Get that backed out of there. Ugh. Yeah, that's a good fit. Bam. Okay, guys. I'm gonna give my hands a break, get something to eat. They are hurting. So appreciate you stopping by. Skadoob, nice mallet. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. Hope you guys have a good one. Take it easy.